We're back and ready for the overtime period between Minnetonka and Hibbing. They're tied at 4-4, headed for overtime in the consolation final. And here are the overtime records of the two teams. During the year, Minnetonka 1-2-1. That includes that loss to Jefferson on Friday morning. And Hibbing 0-1-1, including a loss to Hill Murray on Thursday. Well, there's a look at two officials who have been rather busy.
Well, they're letting them play. Greg Shepard, Jerry Krieger letting them play.
I wonder if they get overtime.
Well, I don't know. I really don't know. But I think both coaches are adhering to one little rule that you want to adhere. Generally in the game of hockey, and especially in overtime, that's just sort of the KISS rule. K-I-S-S. Keep it simple, stupid. Don't get fancy. Percentage hockey, it's all you want to emphasize. Shorten it up, say, just the KISS rule now. Keep it simple, stupid. And the stupid people are not the players, the coaches, by overcoaching. Don't overcoach right now.
Anything you saw in that third period that might give us a clue to who's going to win this game?
No, I just thought the first 5 minutes were going to be very important, and that's when Minnetonka tied it up. After that, it's just nip and tuck. Mr. Matson, you always go to that, you know, your goalkeepers in overtime, and Johnny Hajduk's come up with a great glove save there, is sprawled out, reached out, and then Matson just took a goal away from her out right at the end. This is the type of game we expected, though, Chris.
Yep.
You know, a tight game, maybe not as many goals, but a physical game, and a game that it basically is a toss-up.
I kind of feel for Coach John Erickson. He went through that emotional grinder in quadruple overtime, and here he is in the consolation final going through it again.
I feel for every coach. I feel for every coach, Chris.
We're underway, and Jim Walsh, Steve Schottler, and Jeff Urban are up front for Minnetonka, and they get a whistle down deep in the Hibbing zone. I wanted to ask you, you're very interested in the psyche of players after they've lost such a heartbreaker, particularly Minnetonka in overtime. Is there at all a fear factor of going into another sudden death situation?
Oh, I only think that the important thing in overtime is for the goalkeepers to get the first stop, to get the feel of the puck. You know, the first stop in overtime really is important. And I think Minnetonka lost that one on the first shot on the goal on that one that went off the inside of David Rail's leg. First shot, that's the only fear thing I feel. The other people are really in the game.
Well, Hajduk is certainly into the overtime, as you saw Minnetonka come close, and now back comes Hibbing. This is Steve Terrell with a shot which goes wide and comes around on the near side boards. Hansen a shot and a good toe save, so both goaltenders are tested in overtime, and they're back in it. Now Hibbing clears it down into the zone. We've played 1 minute of sudden death overtime. Greg Harrison banks it off the boards, and this is not going to be icing. It was waved off by the official, and it's Dave Taylor down first for Minnetonka, working against Joe Gostad. Gostad being double teamed. Minnetonka comes up with it. It comes out in front. Now back to the point. John Albert couldn't get set up for a shot, and it's knocked out to center. Pete Wallers, Rich Bryant, Paul Girardi are the forwards for Hibbing. As the puck is cleared around, this is Girardi just flipping it down the ice over the stick of Jekka. And Jekka takes a hit from Bryant in the corner. Back to the point. Vidmar sends it in front. Albert clears it away. Now they put it out into the center ice zone. Girardi sends it back into Minnetonka territory. We're approaching the 2-minute mark of our first sudden death overtime period. Minnetonka and Hibbing tied 4-4 in the consolation final. Here comes Renard scooting in the shot. Good save. Hajduk rebound, and it'll be cleared by Hibbing. Close call there.
Yes, it was. I'm sure Johnny Hajduk would like to control that rebound a little bit more.
There's a shot. Manson looked behind him, but he had it underneath his pad. We'll take a break and be right back with the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
Whether you're making a business call, an emergency call, or just a friendly call, Northwestern Bell is at your service with the people and technology to make sure that phoning is as easy as, well, talking. That's Northwestern Bell.
Close call at the Minnetonka net. There's the shot. Madsen, watch him take a peek, and then just covered up in time. Close call. Jerry Kristoff had moved in from his defensive position, and he was right there for the rebound had it been let out.
Those controlling those rebounds are so darn important. People don't realize how loose pucks can really affect a hockey game off that shot.
Moralt along with Schwartz and Terrell for Hibbing. Puck cleared in on Madsen. And it's Jim Wilharm clearing it around the boards. And the puck shot out to center ice. Backhanded back in, and it's offside as Steve Terrell was trapped inside the line. They've moved brother Doug Terrell off that line and moved older brother Steve in. Maybe a little more experience at this point in time.
Yeah, a little minor adjustment. Sometimes a little different face on a line, a little different look. Maybe just trying to find the right combination. I haven't seen the coaches do a lot of juggling throughout the tournament, but sometimes just those little subtle things can achieve the goal.
Play is whistled right down. 5:22 left.
I see the emotion and the stress and the anxieties building up. I think the patterns are broken somewhat, Chris. They're taking, they're just too much indiscriminate skating right now, and they're leaving the patterns they want to have with and without the puck. I think it's just more of the tension of the game, and they're wanting to do something well for their hockey club.
Here's a pass out in front. Hajduk looking for it. It comes back to Jekka at the point. Jekka is bumped, and now Hibbing will break out of the zone. But getting back is Jim Walsh, again showing his good defensive work. But we've got a penalty upcoming behind the play against the Blue Jackets. There's a break in the action. We'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
RC Cola Lovin' and Hockey Lovin'. RC Cola is proud to be a sponsor of the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament. RC and hockey for great taste and Cola Lovin' fun.
Tough time to take a penalty. Vidmar is in the penalty box for high sticking at 2:57 of the overtime period.
Well, he could have called it a cross check. He called it, interference call. He was preventing the Minnetonka player from leaving that zone. Again, you don't want to get the penalties away from the puck. It's got to affect the play, affect the goal, whatever. The penalties away from a puck, you really have to watch in an overtime situation.
Minnetonka has a couple of power play goals already today. They're 4 for 9 in the tournament. That's 44%. That's excellent. Steve Schottler along with Jim Walsh, Jeff Urban up front. The point men are Wilharm, and that's Jekka with it. He passes it in. They flip it in for Urban, who just shot wide. That could have been the goal. They continue to put on the pressure. Here's Walsh. Walsh maintains possession. Back to Wilharm, who clears it to the corner. Jerry Kristoff tries to chop it out. Can't do it. Here's Walsh moving in. His shot is blocked by Sean Gostad, who's had quite a game. Walsh back to the point. Wilharm shot, but play has been whistled down, and somebody was in the goal crease. And play was stopped.
Chris, the Hibbing penalty killers, defensemen and forwards alike, are really running around. The Minnetonka pointmen, defensemen are wide open. They're getting caught out of position. The emotion has taken over the Hibbing Hockey Club right now in the situation. They're trying to do a little too much, and it becomes counterproductive. You might mean well, but it really hurts what you're trying to accomplish. Good, solid positional play. Fill in, play off, and play within your particular position. You're going to be all right.
Moralt and Schwartz are the penalty killers up front for Hibbing. Jim Walsh trying to get a shot directed towards the goal, but Moralt gets it and flips it down the ice with just less than a minute to go in this power play advantage. Dave Jekka has a power play goal, and he has the puck right now on the left side to Urban. You always have the sense when Urban's out there that he can be the game breaker. Now Hibbing clears it outside the line, and they'll have to regroup in the center ice area.
Minnetonka has a tired power play unit out there right now, and all of a sudden Hibbing gets fresh penalty killers out there. They could be subject to a shorthanded goal.
Here's a tough hit on Nikolov as Urban decked him in the zone. It is at the blue line, but kept in, and now fired down the ice. And I think you're right about
too tired. They got to have that other power play unit out there. The Tommy Monroe line has had a lot of opportunities, and I think here they come now.
Yes, they are. Urban's still on the ice, but Dave Taylor and Holmner are at least out, and now Urban heads to the bench as Jekka fires it in, and there's just 7 seconds left in the power play, so Minnetonka was unable to take advantage of their opportunity. Here comes Dave Taylor. Taylor just ducks away from a check, but is knocked down by Nikolov, and Vidmar's back out. Hibbing's at full strength. 2 minutes, 53 seconds left in the first overtime period. If they don't decide the issue now, there's a shot rebound, and Madsen stands in and makes the stop. Now it's Gostad moving in, and it's flipped out to center ice. Dave Taylor. Taylor looking for Holmner. Holmner can't get loose, and it comes back to John Albert. And Albert will flip it in. Now cleared out to center ice, and Hibbing with an opportunity here. Cleared right in from the point, and that long shot by Girardi. Girardi heads to the bench. Now a backhand towards the goal by Terrell. And Minnetonka takes over. Here's a steal in the zone. Grillo out in front, and the shot there by Wallers goes wide. Tony Schmidt for Minnetonka clears it out to center. Under 2 minutes to go in this first overtime period. And Hibbing starting to become the aggressors once again. Harrison tries to pass it forward to Jeff Christ. Now Kazera gets it out over the line, but it's cleared right back in by the Blue Jackets. Kasner, Grillo, and Hagen up front for the Hibbing Blue Jackets, and here they come. This is Kasner trying to slide it through for Grillo, and it was broken up by Harrison. This is Hagen following up. Good drop pass to Kasner. His cross-ice pass was intercepted with Grillo standing in front of the net.
Big defensive play by Tony Schmidt. He knew he had a 2-on-1 down deep, and he just dove and picked off that, that pass to Mr. Grillo.
Oh, here's a giveaway, but Schottler was dumped on the play. Schottler tries to get it across in the center ice zone. It's Hannes just to an open wing, and it's cleared back down the ice by Hibbing with 1 minute to go in the first overtime period. Are we going to have another marathon session involving the Minnetonka Skippers? Here's Schwartz over the line trying to beat Steve Terrell. Terrell with a shot, and it's blocked by John Albert as the defensemen from Minnetonka do a good job. There's a break in the action. We'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
If the cost of heating your home seems like you're heating an ice rink, you better call an independent Lennox dealer for a free heating estimate. Call Gens Ryan, serving the entire South suburban area.
46 seconds left in regulation time. Face off to the left of Lance Madsen. And from the draw, Hibbing got it cleanly, but the officials didn't like the way the puck was dropped, and they'll do it over again.
Coach Erickson wants to finish with the Walsh line. You notice that Steve Schottler takes quite a few of the draws, Chris.
Jim Walsh is the center, but Schottler does take most of the key face-offs. Puck in the corner, Cheka bumping with Steve Terrell. Terrell comes up with the puck. He's draped against the boards, lost it momentarily, now clears it around to the near side. John Schwartz in for checking. Schwartz and Albert collide against the glass. Now there's another collision as Moralt got into the act. It's still loose, and Hibbing trying to stir things up in the dying seconds of this first overtime period. Now Walsh out to center, but he's tired and just clears it down the ice. Urban after it. Jeff Urban goes crashing into the boards, and they pile up and hold it for a face-off with 5 seconds to go. And somebody might ask, would you pull your goaltender?
Not with 5. I'd consider it with 3. And then you have to say, are we at home on the road? And who's we're at a neutral site. If we got a good guy in that switch, whatever. I like to do it at home because, boy, that thing can go on fast if you got that right minor official. But Jeff Urban really fell heavily into the boards there. He took a big hit. It looked like he pitched more and tried to break himself, but he caught his feet. Big draw here for Minnetonka and obviously for Hibbing.
Sure is. Rich Bryant will take the draw for the Blue Jackets.
Maybe Hibbing wants to have 2 center icemen in case his #1 guy gets thrown out. He's got a little backup there.
Right.
Those things are very important right now.
They don't try it, though, and Bryant gets the draw, and that will do it for this overtime session. They will head to the dressing rooms and come back and try and decide it in the next 15-minute overtime session. But Minnetonka has shown us they like to take their time about these things. They've gone 4 overtime periods before. In fact, Minnetonka has now played 176 minutes and 21 seconds in the tournament, and that's just about 3 minutes shy of 4 full games. So they've pretty well played an extra game in overtime action, and they've still got some time left here against Hibbing to decide this issue.
Yes, I think it's very important that they get a good breath of fresh air right now, and they're facing superior manpower in terms of numbers now in the Hibbing Hockey Club, because Minnetonka is really going down about 4 defensemen and 2 lines, and they're spotting the other ones. It's a matter of how long they're going to hold out, but they got enough talent to do it, though.
Okay, we'll be back with the overtime period, but right now let's go back down to sports control.
Okay, thank you, Chris and Herbie. Is that Minnetonka team getting its money's worth in this tournament?
They must be eating their Wheaties. I don't know what kind of a conditioning program they have, but they are incredible.
We should point out we've now played 1 overtime period of 8 minutes. Now they resurface the ice. We go for 15, but this game will be concluded and will be called a tie if they do go 3 overtime periods like they did the other night. So it will go 3 maximum. Then it's declared a tie. That's never happened before in Consolation.
That's the way it should be, though, I think.
I think it should.
Okay, this is Hockey 85, continuing coverage of the State High School Hockey Tournament.
Sally, Bert, you busy tonight? You're lost. Debbie? Bert? Lori? Bert? Judy? Cindy? Kathy? Buffy?
When you have a lot of local calls to make, it's nice to have a Northwestern Bell card.
Hi, Mom. Bert. Bert.
Your Northwestern Bell card. Use it for local calls, too.
Balancing your checkbook?
Right.
Getting more complicated and expensive, right?
Right, with maximum and minimum balances per check charges, ATM charges, monthly charges, plus special 25-cent credit for every $38 less transfer charges charged.
You know, TCF's pass card checking with its hundreds of cash machines is simple and free with a low minimum.
Free?
Pass card checking is smart banking.
TCF is smart banking for all the times of your life.
This is the future. The Snapper lawn machine. A triumph in engineering, design, and workmanship. We make it tough with our patented steel deck. Easy with instant electronic ignition. And exclusive with Snapper's original high vacuum cut and cleanup system. The Snapper lawn machine. Built better to stay ahead of its time.
See the complete line of Snapper products at Lyndale Garden Center in Minneapolis or Cherokee Hardware in Brooklyn Park.
Our score after 1 overtime period, Minnetonka 4, Hibbing 4. And I think, Ralph, the Skippers must really enjoy being on TV because they've been on more than any other team in the tournament.
Well, I'll tell you, Minnetonka got a goal that we're going to show you here in the third period, and it was the only scoring of the third period in regulation play. Tom Renard picked a great time to pick up his first goal of the tournament right here on a wrist shot past John Hyduke. And that one tied it at 4. That's where we stand right now. And there was just a numerous number of opportunities. Look at this. Number 15, Jeff Urban, near goal. The net came off the moorings. It was not a goal. It did not cross the line. Number 8, Paul Girardi of Hibbing, turned back several times on one play by Lance Madsen of Minnetonka. Just one super save after another in that third period on both ends of the rink. Look at that. And number 9 of Minnetonka, Steve Schottler, almost scored here. He couldn't quite get control of the puck right here in time to fire the puck. And you can see the save. Look at there. It was a loose puck and couldn't quite trigger it away. And so it is 4-4 after
the first overtime. That's right.
First overtime.
Look at the saves here. Lance Madsen 4 in that first overtime. John Hyduke 3. And I don't think we can say enough about the goaltenders. They have been outstanding.
Well, I tell you what, Tom, we printed these shirts up. I survived game 3, and we're right now in the process of thinking maybe it's going to have to be the same for game 9. But we are 4-4 after the first overtime, and this is continuing coverage of the 1985 Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
Lost 8 pounds.
Lose 8 more.
8.
Everybody's got a diet right. It doesn't matter who you are. It's gonna be a tough fight.
Not right, salt-free. I'm avoiding salt and sodium.
Lee, I'm impressed.
She's impressed.
Everybody's got a diet right.
Now you can get a free calorie counter and a 50-cent coupon for Diet Right Cola. Details at the Diet Right Body Shop display in your store.
Tomorrow's primary energy source will be clean, dependable, economical, and abundant. That energy source is here today. It's called gas. Modern gas home heating is the energy-saving, money-saving choice for new homes. So cost-efficient, you can even replace old furnaces and pay for new gas heating systems in savings alone.
The most efficient gas heating systems ever developed are available from your Lennox dealer. Ask him how saving energy can pay for a new furnace.
Sleek, styling, heart-pounding performance. This is the Performance Lebaro GTS. 0 to 50 Turbo GTS beats BMW 528e. In the slalom, front-wheel drive GTS Premium is first again. Performance seats, advanced electronics, and the 5-year, 50,000-mile protection plan. Lebaro GTS, created to outperform Europe's best. It does, I assure you.
Hello? Hi, Jim.
Dave!
I just want to tell you, Steve, playing golf with you is a real experience.
Hey, not everybody can make a shot like that.
Seriously, Steve. It's great getting
Whether
together.
you live out of town or just a few minutes away,
What, 30 minutes away?
remember,
We should stay in touch.
there's so much left to say.
Call me next week, and I'll let you know.
Know what?
Your score. It'll take me that long to add it up.
Don't drift away.
Well, during this overtime period, we have the head coaches of the respective teams in the state tournament championship game tonight at 7:35 here at the Civic Center. On my far left here is Terry Skripek, the head coach of Hill Murray, and Tom Osiki from Burnsville High School. And Tom, let's talk to you first. You're facing a very talented Hill Murray team, a team that beat your team in the '83 finals. Looking for a little revenge?
Oh, yeah, I'm just looking forward to playing the game. Revenge, I don't know. That's 2 years ago. That's a long time ago. There aren't many people that are around who remember that. I don't know about revenge. We're just happy to be here and play another game.
What sort of a team are you facing tonight, Tom?
We're skating. I think we're playing against a very, very talented and well-balanced team. And maybe in addition to that, a team that works as hard as any team we will play probably all year.
Okay, they have some people that can put the puck in the net. I know that.
Well, they certainly do. You know,
that was Trey Toomey
is just one of, he's really nifty with the puck, but the fellow who made that play was Quinlan. Now, here, you know, Hurt is also very talented around that net. And of course, he not only moves that puck out in front, but he's right out front looking for the rebound. Also a very talented forward. Here again, we see Quinlan coming in with a quick stick. I mean, look at that. That's a great move. He is an extremely talented forward.
When you
really
look at Hill Murray now, Tom, what do you say to your team? What are you going to have to do to beat that club?
Well, we're going to have to, you know, work as hard or harder than they do. I think that's really the key. You've got a goaltender like Horvath. I mean, it's not too easy to put the puck by him. He's got to be one of the top goaltenders in the state.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go over to Terry Skripek and ask Terry about the Burnsville team that you're facing this evening. They're a very talented club also, Terry, and a team that everyone's dubbed as the favorite. How about yourself?
Well, I think Burnsville has to be the favorite. They've had a great season. You know, you only lose one game and tie a game, you have to have a great team. And Tom's team is, I think, is one of the biggest teams I've seen in the state tournament play. They've got some great forwards. In fact, some of the best forwards I've seen since I've been coaching high school hockey.
Would you say at this point you did not expect to get to the tournament if we asked you that, say, a month ago?
Well, right. I think during the course of the season we had a lot of ups and downs. I didn't know if our kids were going to have it in them to make it, but we played our best hockey in the sectionals, and the confidence kind of just grew as we went on.
All right, let's ask you now to describe the Burnsville Braves, a team that you faced tonight.
Well, here's a great power play. It's set up by, I think, Ramswick in front of the net there. He picks that defenseman. They get a great shot here. And this is just a great shot here. Forward's a great forward. Is that Featherstone, I think, on the shot there? Great play on him. And here's a shot from the point again on the power play. Ramswick here just makes a great play. It's a great effort in front of the net here. So you can see their strength of their forwards. Right there, the man was right on him. He was still able to get the puck in the net. Here's a great play on the face-off. Just a great effort again by the center iceman here. So one thing about Burnsville, their forwards, they'll keep coming at you and they don't quit.
A lot of people are pointing to the fact that Burnsville might have a little too much depth. Do you feel that they have more depth than Hill Murray?
Well, they might have maybe 4 lines. I would say that we're predominantly a 3-line team. They could probably insert their 4th line, but they do have great depth, and they don't drop off. Their lines are all the same. You can't tell the difference. Whatever line's out there, they all look the same.
Tom Osiki was very complimentary to your goalie, Rick Horvath. How about Kevin Gorg of Burnsville?
Kevin Gorg, one thing I noticed about him, he's a great competitor. You can see it. He's into the game. Buck's down the other end of the rink. He's still involved in the game. He knows what's going on the ice all the time, so he's a great competitor.
Okay, Tom, what do you do now the rest of the day with your team?
You have to react, like you would any other game, I guess. Hopefully, let them do just that.
In preparation, I guess, now, do you just go back to the hotel, relax, or go out for pizza, or what?
Yeah, well, we'll be having a meal shortly. In fact, that's where we're going to head immediately. But, we've got to prepare themselves from here on in. We certainly are not planning on any kind of activities. We want them to relax at their hotel and, have a nice pregame meal and come ready to play.
Well, I'll tell you, it should be an excellent matchup. That's 7:35 tonight, and we wish both of you the best in the championship.
Thank you very much.
Terry Skripek, the head coach of Hill Murray, Tom Osiki from Burnsville, and this is continuing coverage of the 1985 Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.